Welcome back, everybody, to Serving Up Success. We hope you had a great Christmas. I'm Dr. Notesh Desange. And joining me this week are
Angie Snowball, the Renaissance woman.
Bruce Kramer, the corporate cockroach. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Renee. Talking of New Year, we'll go on to the topic in a moment. What are you guys doing for party time this evening? New Year's Eve party time. What are you up to? Angie, what are you up to?
Well, I am introducing our cocktail, which is Sparks Fly, at another party. Sparks Fly this week is champagne with balls, let me tell you. It's vodka, elderflower liqueur, and then some Prosecco or sparkling champagne, whatever you like. So sparks are definitely going to fly. And I am going to the Czechoslovakian club. They're doing the Czech New Year, so I can day drink. I enjoy day drinking. So we're going to have New Year's Eve at 6:00, and then I can go to another party. What are you doing, Bruce?
Well, I'm still hung up on the vodka. But we in our neighborhood, there's going to be a get together this evening so we can all just walk. That's important.
Yeah.
Because the champagne and all the libations will be flowing. So that's what we're planning to do.
Fantastic.
How about you, Dr. D?
So tomorrow, I'm going away for a few days. And so this evening, my partner and I just having a great roast beef dinner with some spectacular red wine from from California, which is called La Quadrilla, which is my favorite wine from
Very nice.
From California. But I hope you both have fun. We got some.
Wait a minute, you forgot the one detail. You're both going to be naked while all that occurs.
Only Bruce adds that part. Only Bruce.
Yeah, well, that was the part I remembered.
I'm glad you're well, we know where his mind is. This is what happens when you drink too many dirty Santas.
I think we better get on with the show before Bruce just gets himself
sideways
live on air.
Oh my God.
So remember, guys, let's get serious. Remember, we talked last week about why we make resolutions, why they fail, and the process of making resolutions as well. And we're shifting gear, as promised last week. We're shifting gear from insight, thinking about how it's done, to execution. What does that mean? Well, if you remember, Bruce, at the very end of the last show, talked about a framework which blends psychology, identity, and being practical. And he called it the R.I.S.E framework. The R.I.S.E framework, R stands for reflection. The sort of stuff Angie does. I, the second letter, stands for imagining your future identity. The sort of thing I sort of do when I make resolutions. Then S stands for selecting one anchor goal. Remember, we talked about that with Bruce. He talked about his one anchor goal. And then E is engineering your environment to make success the default outcome. So RISE, reflection, identity, anchor goal, and engineering your environment. And how are we going to do this? Well, we are going to make our resolutions. I am going to interview Bruce in a second. Bruce is then going to interview Angie. And if we have time, we'll probably run out of time. But if we have time...
You're not running out of time. That's not going to happen.
Angie will interview me. But I'm going to really try hard not to run out of time. The last 30 minutes. Okay, Bruce, are you ready?
I guess I am. Here, one more sip. One more.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
By the way, if people wonder why Bruce and Angie are always drinking, and I sometimes drink, but more often than not, they do. don't. And there are two reasons. Firstly, that's their default position, Bruce and Angie. That's they're doing it most hours of most days. But secondly, less important reason, we record these shows at a certain time, and at the time we record them in the UK, I've got some other things to do, like drive a car and heavy machinery, lifting weights, that sort of thing. I shouldn't really be drinking. I'm going to do any of those things. So just as an explanation as to why those two are drinking more often and I'm drinking occasionally. But anyway, Bruce, are you ready?
Oh, I don't know, but go, shoot. Let's do it. Let's
get it over with.
The first thing I'm going to ask you to do is to do some reflection. And you can do this in the way you want, but let's just say, what patterns are you responding to? Patterns over the last 12 months, 24 months. What patterns of behavior are you responding to? The R element in the R.I.S.E framework.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah. And I also, based on our last episode, because you got me thinking quite differently about all of this, Dr. D, was that what was taking my energy too, or zapping me. And because of our business together, and we're all partners in serving up success with a splash and this podcast, I hate to admit it, but when I reflected, and as I mentioned, I usually think about how I'm spending my time. Oh my God, I am addicted to podcasts. I mean, everything from Joe Rogan to all the sports podcasts. And it started out as a learning exercise. All I was trying to do was figure out how the hell do we do this? And so I wanted to watch what people do. Well, now I'm addicted. Almost all my news is coming in, 5-minute clips these days, and it's draining my time. The other thing that happened because of the business is I went back out on social media. So once again, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. And I find myself scrolling. So as I reflected, we were damn near talking probably to 2 to 3 hours a day. And I hate to admit this as a coach, somebody that coaches against this. Talk about a waste of time. So as I reflected, I realized there's a big chunk of my time going to no good. So that's my response to the reflection.
Bruce, I tell you what, thanks for being so honest, on a show. On a show where you're saying this to so many people. I don't know how many views.
Yeah, how about tell people not watch podcasts, though, because we're on podcasts.
Oh, except ours.
Listen to ours. Don't listen to Joe Rogan.
2 to 3 hours a day is very good for you when it comes to surfing.
Always listen to Angie. This is our show. Nobody else's.
Nobody else's. It's worth it.
Okay, Bruce.
We don't waste time.
That's really good because that is it's going to be a tough one now for you to answer. For the second question, identity. So, Bruce, who are you wanting to become?
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting because the next two, I think it was I for, imagine your future identity, and then the S for the anchor. I always confused or conflated the two. So when I had to switch from what's kind of my anchor goal, that was kind of easy, but I thought that's not really, I want to be more intentional. And when I started talking, there's a thing, and I know Angie does this as well. I try to select one word each year that's going to be kind of the driver of my being for that year. And what I realized, it's not just as simple as my anchor goal, which you're going to hear in a minute, which is time, better time management, because wasting 2 to 3 hours scrolling and watching podcasts may not be such a healthy thing. There are some good things that could come out of that. So what I'm really saying is intentional. Not that I'm going to stop watching necessarily podcast or scroll, but I'm going to be very intentional about it. Is it helping me or is it just, mind garbage? Or,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
and so, and then when I talked about intentional, it's also about the people I engage with. So it's not as simple as my anchor goal. It's about what I'm going to be more intentional about the people and activities I engage with. With the purpose, is it helping me be better? That I hope people are catching that, because I'm the slow kid. So that was a big aha moment for me, is I just want to make sure my time is going to something that's helping. It's not to just stop watching podcasts. No, I probably watch them. If it's feeding good into me, making me better, that's a good use of my time.
There
So
we
it's
go.
being more
I like that
intentional.
answer.
Angie, can you help me here with what Bruce is saying? So in terms of identity, have we got enough from Bruce that he's going to be more intentional? Is there something can we just scratch a little bit further, do you think?
Yeah,
What
I guess.
are you becoming? Like, what's your identity, Bruce, then?
Is my identity when I get to I hope people say, he's very intentional about what he does. Even in terms of,
Okay.
the people I just hang out with.
Yeah.
I'm very intentional with my time. It might have to do with I'm getting damn old, so time is becoming more of an issue for me.
No, but I
And I
think
want
that's
to
good.
squeeze every ounce of opportunity out of it.
Yeah, so you're saving your energy by choosing more intentionally
Yes.
things that feed you intellectually.
Thank
Okay.
you. That's a better way to say
You're
that.
welcome. Write that down.
By the way, I think it's fantastic, but I'm struggling. If I'm being honest, I'm struggling with whether that's your identity or your anchor goal. So help me in terms of.
Oh, I see what he's saying. He wants you to say, I am someone who makes intentional choices.
Well,
Not
that's
what you're going to do.
yeah.
Is that right,
Well,
Dr. D? Are we getting closer?
Yeah.
I think so. But I just want to look, guys. I'm learning too, right? So, what's the anchor goal, and what's in all of what you've said, Bruce? What's the anchor goal?
It is around limiting my time in terms of outside of business and friends and relationships with family and stuff, is not to consume more than an hour and a half of viewing time or scrolling time. So to limit that to 90 minutes a day max, where, if I choose to view something, it's, I'm not going to go for 2 to 3 hours. 90 minutes is it. If I'm scrolling, I'm going to limit. And we've got all these gadgets that tell you your screen time, your viewing time. So it's very easy for me to do. So my goal, no more than 90 minutes a day, period.
Okay.
It's not that I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to be more intentional and better spend that time.
Okay. And then finally, I suppose, so that's your I, your R, your reflection, your imagination, your identity, I, and your anchor goal, S, selecting your anchor goal, and then E, environment. What environmental changes are going to make this
created a little? I created a little time reporting. I'm going to create my little spreadsheet for time reporting. So I'm actually going to measure on a daily basis where my time is being spent, with the emphasis on viewing and, scrolling social media, that I'm not exceeding 90 minutes a day. But it's also going to allow me to say, even in that 90 minutes, was that good use of my time? Did I watch the right things for the right reasons? And as always, I let Noelle know, as my coach here, day in and day out, to keep me honest. Help me out. If you see me still in the den, watching Joe Rogan now for another hour, you're going to come in and say, hey, buddy, what happened to the 90 minutes?
Yeah, that's good.
So
that's the environment. I don't know how well I did in this interview, but
this is a question for Angie. Angie, what what level, how successful do you think Bruce is going to be? Very,
I was going to say, why do I get homework? This is his test.
yeah.
Question.
I just sort of think everything.
No, I think he will be. I think he's going to be 100% because he not only has Noelle as an accountability partner, he's said it out loud. He has us as an accountability partner. He has an entire audience, which now reaches close to 100,000 views on these things that are holding him accountable. So saying these things out loud, asking people to hold you accountable, I think that improves your chances of success just infinitely.
And next year, I got to report out in this episode a year from now how I did.
Gee, he's just slamming himself with accountability.
All right, Angie, it's my turn to interview now. Okay, Dr. D. So, Angie, your honor, reflection.
I'm going to read the newspaper.
So, what were some things that drained your time or things that occupied your senses in terms of where you want to go?
Yeah. So as you know, I do not enjoy detailed crap. I do not enjoy setting down foundations. I don't like building infrastructure. I do not like that. There was a lot of that this year, and I knew it was for a reason. But it will be, that is set in place so that next year is different. But that was something that drained a lot of me. It was a lot of infrastructure, a lot of setting things up, choosing systems. AI was coming at us like water out of a fire hydrant this year, right? And choosing systems that I wanted to integrate with systems I had, and a lot of research, and stuff that needed to be done. But when I look back, that's what drained me. And like Bruce got caught up in his podcast, I often got caught up too much in that research. I was starting to get a little stuck in that perfection over progress loop. So, this year.
Right. So when you think in terms of your identity, how would you define that, your future identity? What will good look like or success look like at the end of the year as you imagine your future identity?
Yeah. So last year it was all about believe in yourself, know that you can do something. That was my word, was believe. And that's why I spent a lot of time doing the research, setting things up. Like, I can do this. How am I going to do this? And getting it ready, right? This year, my word is boom. Because this year it's going to happen. Like, all the boring stuff is done. It's behind me. I believe in myself. And this year I'm going to show up as someone who's getting it done, who's doing it, who's not preparing for it, who's no longer waiting for it or trusting to believe. It's happening this year. It's booming. Boom.
Wow. What's your one anchor goal?
My anchor goal is to, and I've started on it already because, it's tomorrow. But I have this, like, it's very specific, but I don't feel like overreaching. And that's to have like a 12-month marketing plan that's integrated into my email marketing, which I've never done. I talk about painter's house, cobbler's kid with no shoes, whatever. That is me. So this year I've created my own plan, and there's a lot of accountability in there. I've got systems in place so that it's going to shoot out. But the anchor goal is to use all that infrastructure to achieve all the things I have on my list, which is primarily making a difference by helping people with sharing my information through courses. So I've created a lot of courses on LinkedIn to find jobs, LinkedIn for college kids, LinkedIn for businesses, a lot of that stuff. Bruce and I and Natej are going to be doing webinars. We're going to be pushing out courses on imposter syndrome, things like that. So to me, that goes back to what we talked about last episode. What is your overall anchor goal in life to make a difference? To me, this year is meeting that by specifically saying, I'm sharing my knowledge through these courses that I've already set up and I believe will make a difference.
Wow. So you already talked a little bit about the environment. It's leveraging that infrastructure. So do you have more to expand on that? But you really tied the two together. But what else would you add in terms of engineering your environment to ensure that? Because as we pointed out in the last, or Dr. D did in the last, if you just rely on motivation, ain't gonna happen. The systems need to be in place to make damn sure it happens. So what are those?
Yeah. So a lot of those systems are in place. But like you said, a lot of those systems have been in place. I just haven't been using them. And because I haven't, I'm going to assume I'm not going to use them in the future unless I change something. So what I am changing is I have brought on some outside help that is specifically assigned to, on this date, you need to have this email thing ready for me to send out. Similar to serving up success, we want to be able to spread the word more, get a little more organized, be a little more deliberate. So Bruce and I were just talking that I will work with his outside help so that we can coordinate our efforts. And basically what we did for you, finding more accountability partners, putting more accountability in place. So everybody is expecting. I have one particular person said, Sherry, if you do not see an email newsletter from me quarterly, I need you to come to my house and yell at me because I have problems. So, I mean, it's gotten like that specific. I'm like, this year is boom. This year things are going to happen. I put everything in place. I spent plenty of time, believe me, this year. I even have, for my kids and my husband, I make everybody a keychain with their word for the year so that it's like always with you.
That is cool.
So, if they're listening, they don't know it's a keychain this year. I usually make something. Oh no, it'd be after. Okay, they know. Like, where are we recording this? They know. Yeah. But, I do one thing. So if it's a notebook, if it's something that maybe it's just something you write on your wall, but for me, that's got to be front and center at all time because that's my accountability to myself too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So. You will make a difference. I guarantee it.
Well, I hope so.
All right. Now you got to go after Dr. D.
I know. Do you notice how fast I was? I was like, we got this.
No, not yet. I just want to say, Angie, I'm just so motivated just by hearing you speak. Seriously, I am just motivated. I'm going to take on what you've said. I'm just going to do what you said. That's going to be mine.
Nope, it doesn't work that way. Nope, doesn't work that way. But I will say, I'm never this coordinated. So, I mean, last year, the piece about one word, a friend, Nick Marinello, I always tell Nick it, but he's the one who introduced me to that concept of one word. Yep. And it really, I mean, for me, it worked. If you're an ADHD person, if you like sparkles and glitter, this might be your thing because it's easy to stay in focus with that one word thing. And then this year, it was much more deliberate because of the structure that Dr. D provided, the R.I.S.E structure. When I went through this myself, I'm like, man, this is fantastic. This really helped me develop not only the word, but exactly how I'm going to use that word and what I need to use it for. So because it's such a great structure, I'm going to make you walk me through how you did it too, Dr. D. So let's talk about reflecting. What I thought was really interesting too was patterns. What are some patterns did you identify any patterns that you thought were either hindering you or sucking energy, something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Two patterns. One is that, I come to decisions fast and then that's the decision made. So that's a pattern that I have where I just make the decision, and I've got the decision, and I'm just moving forward. I'm just doing implementation, and I'd like to be open to having that be readdressed. I'd like to make myself more open to making sure that that's readdressed. And then the second pattern is I am really content driven. I love content. I love insight. I love knowledge. I want to do other things too. I want to appreciate the arts and languages more. I'm identifying these two patterns where I have too much certainty. Okay. And I have one way of being, which is insight and content. And I'd like to have some sort of, not a departure. I don't want to lose that. I just want to add to it. So I suppose, yeah, those are the two patterns I think that I think when I think about myself, those are two patterns which are sort of hourly patterns that I have.
So that's interesting because we've all done this. And I think you'll find it too as you go through the structure. So the R is reflect. The I is your identity. What do you imagine yourself to be? The S is to select your anchor goal. And then the E is to engineer the environment. What are you going to change? I think you'll find as we do, it's difficult to answer one without the other. You tend to intertwine them already. So, for example, as Dr. D went through his reflect, he already started to tell us what his identity is. What he wants to look like is someone who's going to be more open, someone who's going to go into the arts. So if you're going through this and you feel like, oh no, I'm cheating. I think I just did two at once. You're not cheating. It tends to what they happen. But going forward, let's talk about the S. So out of that, you kind of covered identity. I'm sure it'll sneak in here as we go into the S. What is going to be your anchor goal to see that new identity?
So I think there are going to be, there's one anchor goal, actually. There's one anchor goal, and I've already thought about it. In fact, I already arranged it about 4 hours ago. And that is that I've got one of my former students, actually, lives in Paris, and online she's going to teach me French over the course of the next year. So my anchor goal is not to speak French. My anchor goal is just to have 1 hour with her speaking French a week, and then a couple of hours additional work a week speaking French. That is my only one anchor goal. I have other goals, but that's my one anchor goal, that for 50 weeks of the year, 50 weeks next year, that I'm going to do 2 to 3 hours work on understanding, reflecting, thinking about the French language and culture over the next 12 months.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you already speak a little French? Like, are you going to make really good French?
I sort of understand French, Spanish, and Italian, so I can understand, but I often, particularly if it's French, I don't know how to respond in French, but I can understand what people say if they're speaking French. What I'm trying to do with this anchor goal is shift my mindset from certainty, and so French is something I don't speak. I'm going to be uncertain, so I'm trying to shift that uncertainty
out of your comfort zone. I like it.
And into the arts and languages. So I'm committing to that anchor goal over the next year.
Congratulations. You have an accountability partner as well, because my French is rusty, so I will test you. Give me a chance to practice.
Love it.
I'm still learning English.
All right.
Comedy is good though, Bruce.
That's funny. So going into the very last piece, the E, the engineering your environment, we have a little bit of the plan you've already told me. Is there anything you want to add to that piece?
So this bit is key for me, because to engineer a mind shift like this, I need to fiddle with my environment slightly, to make more time available. And the way I'm going to do that, and again, I've already started this, I'm creating a digital, AI twin, some people are creating it for me, where that'll speed up all my other activities. So I'm using technology, artificial intelligence, to create a second me, a digital twin, so that those things can be taken care of efficiently, and I can rest my brain. I can augment AI so I can rest my brain into these other things where there's less certainty. There's, I've got to really make an effort, and I've got to try and learn new things. So that environmental piece is vital to create that extra dimension for me.
Wow. And what a great way to bring this home. He doesn't even know I'm going to say this, but we're good. That's going to be our first live course in January, is going to be using AI, because I also used AI to create that 12-month marketing plan, to put a lot of the individual steps into place. I have I always call her my mini me, but yeah, my clone me, my double me. I like to call her my mini me. I like to think she's a princess too. I'm the queen, she's the princess. But I use that a lot to make the environment happen. Just speaking of the research and all that stuff, because going forward, everything's changing. The research isn't going to go away. I have just now trained my AI to do a lot of that research for me, so I don't go down the rabbit hole and don't come out, like Bruce said, going places I didn't want to go. So AI probably should be part of everybody's plan. If you're looking for more time, AI is the answer. It's not a bad guy. And look for our course coming up in January. It'll be a live course, and we'll be able to purchase pieces of it, I think, going forward. But that's awesome. So that's us. That's how we went through our RISE strategy. I'm going to give it back to Dr. D to take us all the way home for Happy New Year.
Well, you know something, I thank you for sending it back to me, but I think this is our last few minutes of 2025. I think, I'd love for us to, I know we have a mashup episode as well coming, but, of 2025, but this is our last actual, episode. I'd love to just all of us have a, reflective couple of minutes each on this year and our podcast and our collaboration. And, we've become a little bit of a family, the three of us. So, what are your sort of reflections? Maybe we start with Bruce, because not only because he's got the loudest jacket I've ever seen. Bruce, how have you, what's been good for you over the last, 30 weeks, 35 weeks, however many shows we've done?
Well, first of all, about being more intentional, these are my two new partners, and I couldn't be more pleased, and in what it is we're trying to do, because we're all trying to make a difference. You can see what Dr. D is doing in the educational field, certainly Angie, and freeing people in terms of how to better communicate and make their presence and brand known. I am just, I do want to thank you. A big part of reflection is, what are you grateful for? I'm very grateful for you too.
Oh, Bruce, that's lovely. Thank you so much. Brilliant.
Yeah, I know it's going to sound like a love fest from us, but when I first did the RISE thing, my very first, when it said, what energized you this year? It was this. It was you guys. It was this podcast. It was every time. First, it was just the idea of it. I'm like, I can't believe Bruce asked me. Like, there's super smart guy, super cool guy, and me, I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm in for the ride. So I was excited for that. Then we got to meet in person. It was even more exciting. And then it started happening, and these views kept coming in. I'm like, oh my God, people actually want to listen to us too. I can do something that's so fun and educational and empowering and motivating, and enjoy it. I mean, that is such a gift. It truly is, like, the best part of my year has been this podcast. So Bruce, I can't thank you enough for pulling us together. And it's just fun. And on the days when I'm drained from other things, I get excited about the podcast. In fact, that's what'll restart me. Like, if I'm stuck with a writer's block or something like that, I will stop and I'll go back to Serving Up Success and see what we posted. Do we have shorts? Do we have something going on? Because then I get excited. Then I go back to work. So I think that's definitely been the best part of my year. So both of you, and what I've learned from it, the stuff that Dr. Natej sends all the time, like all this academic stuff, I'm like, dang on, didn't have to wing it all this time. There's crap out there teaching how to do it. So it's been amazing. I thank you both so much.
It is going to sound like a love fest, guys. It is going to sound like a love fest, because I've had a ball with you two. It's been so much fun. I love the fact that we have different ways of thinking. We have different ways of, we have different opinions. We have different belief systems. And I just love the way we model respect and kindness, even during disagreement. I really love that about you guys. I think you guys, for me, are a model for how the world should be. And
Aw.
thank you for being part of my 2025 and my life. And in advance of 2026, thank you for being part of my new 2026 as well.
And I want to give a big thank you to our audience, because if it hasn't become obvious, we truly are all learning together. So we're going to be looking for ways in 2026 to get our audience more engaged, not only in terms of feedback, but again, creating more energy and probably more effectiveness as to how we can all learn together. But thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart,
absolutely.
our hearts, for joining and allowing us to do this. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for all of that support and following. We're still surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're actually shocked. It's beyond surprise. We're actually shocked. Yeah.
So I guess wrapping up, do your own homework, go through this RISE. If you have questions on the structure, leave a comment, contact one of us. We will get you a copy. I can even throw together a little worksheet of some sort to make it tangible for you. So do go through the RISE. Make sure you have an anchor habit. Pick your resolutions, choose your word, however you're going to do it. But let's get ready for an awesome 2026.
Cheers!
Cheers!
New Year.
Happy New Year!